Just got a phone call from the post office and a new batch of Novogen chicks just arrived. So we're going to go down and pick them up. And I'll give you some info on how it is that we source those birds. We order our egg layers through Freedom Ranger Hatchery, which is part of a collective, each providing their own specialty of birds. The ones that we directly deal with is Hillside Hatchery. And I ordered 25 birds from them on Tuesday, and we're just now heading down to pick them up. I will put a link in the description of their direct line if in fact you wanted to just call them directly and place an order, or you can obviously go online and do that through the websites. But yeah, we're headed down there to pick them up and get our annual set of egg layers.
Yeah.
So as typical, they gave us an extra one. And so we have 26 chicks, and they're all doing well at this point. Let's see if we can get them over to where the water's at and let them kind of get underneath this heat lamp. I'll leave the lid to that open until they can kind of get a sense as to what's actually in it. And then once they develop a taste, which usually doesn't take too long for the food inside, the rest of them will be able to follow suit. I'll take a handful of them when they first get them and just kind of dunk their face in there like that. And then they'll get a taste for the water. And once a few of them figure out what's going on, they'll zero in on it. I'm going to turn their heater back on. It's a little chilly in here. I'm going to be getting them switched over to the new heat mat that I got them, but probably tonight I'll just leave them with this heat lamp, let them get settled in. I'll get them some food, I'll get them some water, and we'll see how they're doing in the morning. Let's see here. Well, looks like we've got one that didn't make it. Right over here. All the rest of them seem to be pretty vigorous and up and moving about. They've poured through a good bit of their water, and they've had access to their food here all night. One thing that's really important to note is that chicks that have been shipped in the mail have had their body temperature lowered significantly. And in order for them to have the best possible chance of survival, it's very important that you raise their body temperature as quickly as you can. The best tool for that is a heat lamp, or a minimum of 24 hours. And then after that, you can make an assessment based on how well they're doing, how vigorous they are, whether or not you want to switch them over to something a little safer like a heat plate. And that's what I'll be doing today. This little baby chick will get buried in the bottom of one of these compost piles, because everything that was once living can live again in compost. This is the heat mat that I'll be installing today, and I'll link somewhere in this video to the unboxing video that I did on this particular unit. The first week I like to use these smaller waters. The birds are less likely to get stuck in these because they are smaller, and then I'll throw some rocks in there just to kind of discourage them from getting flipped over and stuck in there. The chicks have all taken to this pretty well in short order. They've learned where the heat source is coming from, and they're all crammed underneath. They seem to be pretty happy. Let me see if I can get down here and show you. Within the first week, they'll be starting to jump on top of the heat plate. One of the things that I've done to remedy that is just take an old apple box and put it on top. One of the nice side benefits of having this box so nearby is you'll be able to take all of these chicks and put them in the box, and that way you'll be able to either assess them for any health issues or cleaning up and reorganizing the brooder space.
We've only had them for one day,
And he's probably not going to make it through the night because, I mean, his feet are already cold and he's been underneath that warmer.
If there's any of you that are new to keeping chicks, one of the things is pasty butt. And this little guy right here, he wound up having a pretty good collection of poop. And Rebecca cleaned it off earlier. And then upon releasing that, manure just gushed out of him. And that's after only 1 day of us having them. So that is something that you're going to need to be very cognizant of with your new chicks. And again, I did a video on that as well. I'll link to it. About a year ago, Rebecca and I did a pretty extensive review of this particular breed, the Novogen Brown. Since then, we've received a good deal of inquiry, people wanting to know how and where we source them from. So that's what the impetus of this particular video is. This is what we just picked up, these baby chicks, and they will become this chicken right over here.
Right here. Check out the baby.
He's coming over. Oh, that feels good on the comb. Yeah, she's going to sleep. I hope this helps to answer some of the questions that folks may have about this particular breed. And if you'd like any further information, please feel free to reach out to us. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.